Right guys, update. Start these all soon, don't we? Right guys. Got the Benelli pipes in. We just sat down there now, we're going to chill. Just chill and talk for a bit, but you don't want to see me, you want to see this bike, don't you? And we also need to start this video with a picture of this bike. Should we see what it looks like now before we stick some pipes on it? It looked really nice when it's not got no pipes on it. They're a nice looking bike. So that's it, Benelli. Nice frame, nice wheels, nice engine. That's what it looks like, and they're all wrapped up behind that Villiers bench. Get the Villiers in. That is the 6 pipes, all freshly ceramic coated by Camcoat. I've just got to make the car, put them down there. I don't know how we're going to film it because I'm going to need about 3 hands to fit all them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. 6 pipes, and we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 baffles. And these are you guys. If anyone want to look into it, thank you from Camcoat. I said just give us a load of leaflets and that, because if anybody comes in asking, I can just show them these then, and they've got like a bit of information on them. So you just give me a load of stuff, business cards, they're all saying, aren't they? This is the first time I've ever bought anything off him. I've spoke to him for the last 10 years or so. It's called Nick at Camcoat, and they were about to, he was telling me how we were getting on with it, because I said like every powder coat now can do ceramic coating. And when I first looked into this, basically me Uncle Andy, yeah, building an RD 250. It was 250 when he bought it. It were an RZ, which American model RD, I think, an RZ 250. And then what were it? Did it have a 350 bottom end? Nah, I can't remember. It were a bit. The engine were a bit so it were a bit 250, a bit 350 or something like that. Then he managed to find enough bits. He managed to find some cases off someone to build it into a 350. So then he's built it into a 350, which then makes it the more valuable bike, doesn't it? He wanted me to make some expansion chambers for it, and I said, wow, there's a lot of work in expansion chambers for an RD. So I said, have you tried Gibsons? Sometimes known as stink wheels or something like that, I think they are. Gibsons, I knew Gibsons did them, so he spoke with Gibsons. I think they were like 600 quid for a set of 2, which is cheap, because like, for you to make them from scratch, to be 600 quid at least for one. So we got a pair of them for 600 quid. But they just come raw mild steel, so we were thinking, should I get them chromed? Weirdly at the time, Stink Wheels or Gibsons were trying to get some chromed micron plater, but they only had one. And I said to him, that's weird that, because they've come off a twin. I think it might have been, they wanted them, they sent a few out around country, I think, and they just wanted test chrome doing, see how much they cost, what the quality were like, which is fair, isn't it, looking for new suppliers. They were going to be expensive to chrome them, so I said, well, for the same price, but you can get them ceramic coated black, like, so then they'll look like you've done it in barbecue stove paint, which is what you would do. You just get some black VHT paint. But they'll be 10 times better, because VHT paint scratches off, it's a bit flaky, it's a bit soft, and you have to redo it every couple of years. Every year, I'd do it every year probably. When you pull your bike in bits, you need to redo your pipes, spray them, hang them all up, rub them down, spray them. Just a drama. So I went down with my Uncle Andy to meet Nick at Camcoat about 10 years ago, like I say, and I said, is it alright if I bring 4 just like little lengths of tube like that, 1.5 inch, whatever, and you just coat a few of them while you're doing Andy's pipes? So he did 2 in black, 2 in chrome, because they're the 2. He said, what do you want? And I said, well, the racers will want black and the vintage guys will want chrome, I think, because it's a dull chrome, it's nice. And yeah, he just did them for free, and I've had them knocking around in my cupboard. Everyone that comes in says, oh, I don't know what to do about coating. I say, like, well, you can have them chromed, you can have them nickeled, you can run them raw, or you can have them ceramic coated, or you can paint them yourself. And I show them these samples every time I make my drawer. Let's go and have a look at them. Let's go and have a look. So they've been in there for 10 years. I was saying to Nick, they've done well. They've done extremely well. So they've been here for about 10 years, and I've not looked after them. All I've ever done is bang them against each other. Like, I don't even... I was trying to get you some focusing, and if you're button out for too long, I take a photograph. So that's the black. And that's it. When I finish with that, I just throw it back in the bag with another one. You see, like that, they've been rattling around in there. That's another black. You can't see many scratches on them, can you? Like, they're a bit scratched, but they're a bit dull, because they've been rubbing against each other in there. And then these are the chrome ones. And when I went into his showroom, he had a set of headers of a car, say like an American car, in black, and he had a set in chrome, and I said, oh, they look just like mine, that's what I do with mine, I've not looked after them. And he says, oh, they do the same. When they go to shows, they just whiz them in back of a van. And then when customers come and say how I'm wearing it is, they just say the same thing. They say, oh, well, I've not looked after them, I just whiz them in back at a van, and look, they've got scratches on them, but they're not they're not that bad. So yeah, they've just been banging against each other. In real life, if you can't see what that chrome actually looks like, the best way to explain what that looks like, it just looks like a dull aluminium casing off a Triumph. So if you've polished up your timing case or whatever on a Triumph, it looks like that. So if you look at it there next to that chrome, it's nothing like. But if you look at it there next to that alley plate, you're getting a bit closer, aren't you? So instead of you putting that kind of chrome on a vintage bike and it's too bright, you want it like that, don't you? You want milky alley, which this is. It's not reflective wise, that's looking just like silver paint, but in real life it's got a shine to it. It's obviously not that, but yeah, generally if you put that next to it, they look chromish in real. They look like that in real life, and they blend in really well. Like you won't think, it just look like old pipes. So it's not a bad thing to do because it's not blingy, but it's hard wearing. So yeah, that's enough of me chatting shark trying to sell Nick stuff. But yeah, not a bad thing. Like I said, there's a million people do it now, but there's only Nick at Camco and a place called Zerco Tech or something like that down London way. When I went looking for this with my uncle Andy for cam coating, ceramic coating, they were the two only places you could go. And now, like, I've got a mate that does wheels, powder coats wheels, and he says, "Oh, I could do it if I just change a couple of things in my oven or with his spray gun or whatever. He could do it." And I said, "That's the case. I think there's powder coaters all over the country now doing it." But Nick, he is, or he's about to become, the recommended supplier for. Is it Camco? So for Cerakote. So Cerakote's a proper brand. That's the brand. That's the when you buy it in a tin or whatever it comes in bags of powder, it'll say Cerakote on it. They're a bit like Tetrasil. There's a big company in Rochdale, Tetrasil, don't they? They make all different types of paint. Yeah, they're a bit like Dulux or whatever. Yeah, they're the company that supply the goods. And Camco are going to become a registered supplier. I would have thought Zeratech a bit same, whatever they're called. So they're like your two best places in country to go, proper recommended suppliers. Everyone else, it's a missing it. Like they've been doing it a couple of years. Nick's been doing it for a long time. So yeah, we've got the dog's bollocks on this. I'm going to set camera up. I'll get the stand out. We've been on for 8 minutes now. Set stand up. Try and put some of these on, but I'm not. I'm a bit apprehensive about it because anything could go wrong here, couldn't there? I've even thought about. I might do that before I do it. I thought about asking. Nah, I'm gonna have to put on that. I thought about asking customers saying, "Do you want to just pick the bike up and leave these in wraps so that then they're safe in back of his van?" Because he's going to Isle of Man on ferry with it, so I'm not right sure about putting him on bike and then strapping bike in his van with the pipes on it and I'm getting scratched off the straps or whatever, or if it's a rough seeing bike, van's moving about and that's it back up. Who knows, anything could go wrong, couldn't it? But that's the same, I suppose, if they're on floor, they still rattle around against each other. We want some photographs, don't we? We want to see it, me and thee. We want to see it, so let's get them on bike, even if you tell me to pull them back off again. But yeah, I need to take my time with it. Biggest thing is now just take my time with it. When I was doing it before, they were still in assembly stage, I could rush it a little bit and get away with it. Whereas now, if they touch the floor once, before it were like, well, I got away with that, didn't it? Whereas now, they touch the floor once, it's going to chip it off in it. So just need to be careful, make sure I'm not tinging it on anything, tinging it on frame, or tinging it on floor, or tinging them on against each other, one at a time. Nice, steady. Get me wood, I need to get a load of wood out, put all wood around the bike. Normally I do it there where I'm stood, because I'm stood on pit boards, but everything's all a bit cramped in, so I've got a big mat there, I've got a big mat carpet, I might put that underneath on one side. Might just do that, yeah, I've got a big carpet there. So like it's a dorm out of a big old shop, like we used to have the big old co-ops. You have a big entrance going into it. Mainly like that, you don't even need to know, but it's one of them. It's a big doormat for going into a big old shop. General store kind of place. I'm going to get that out, put it there, because that'll give it a bit of cushioning, won't it, if anything does drop. Put them there, like I say, unwrap them carefully. Even just unwrapping the bubble wrap's going to be a bit scary. Let's get them on, let's have a look. Right, so I'm going to just stop you for 10 minutes, gather my thoughts, gather all stuff, get some spanners out my drawers and that, and then we'll have a look. Last time, when I pulled them off, the video was shit, it was just me. Like that. Might try and narrate it a little bit, but I suppose, like I said, all these videos are going to be different, aren't they? It's just what happens in workshop. Sometimes it's not that exciting, but the end result's going to be exciting. So right, I'll be back soon, in a bit. It's fine, but right, guys, update, we're back in. Put board on the bike, as you can see there. I'll put you in a place where you might be able to see everything going on. And like I say, I'll try and talk you through it, because when I whipped them off, you couldn't hear a thing I was saying, or I didn't say anything, I was just concentrating. I'm going to try and concentrate hard again here to try and get these on without touching anything. If you hear any tings, ignore them. I'm going to ignore them. You do, they're just like ting, 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 and they make a lot of noise because the big empty megas, any just touch it with that bit of wire here and it'll make it, not even that, just ting, ting, ting. You're going to hear a lot of ting, tinging. Fingers crossed. Well, it's ceramic coated, and he said it's well hard wearing. Especially as well, he was like, when I picked him up, he was like, well, he said to labourer, spray painter, he says, when did we do them? And I'm like, I think it was Thursday, Friday last week, something like that. And he was like, oh, they'll definitely have cured by now. So they do, once he's sprayed it on and once he's baked them, there's still, it's modern paints in it, modern, we'll call it paint. I think they're still based on solvents, but not salt, because we don't have solvents anymore, do we? So when you had old solvents, you literally, it'd dry like solvents had all come off it, rock hard dry. Whereas now they don't use solvents, so they can bake some of it off. That's going to get some of the liquid out of it, basically, and then it's still going to be a bit soft. There's still going to be some liquid trapped in there. So he said after a few days it'll set hard, which that's the same with everything now, glues, paints, all of it, without the solvents in them, they just, basically the solvent evaporate off, which is why it gets you high, gives you a headache. That'd all evaporate off, and it just, soon as that's all evaporated off, like alcohol, it's set then, it's pretty much set, it's gone from liquid paint to hard paint, leaves all dust behind, basically. Solvent, I'm not a paint expert, but that's layman's terms, isn't it? So alright, I'm going to try and open some of these. They're down there, aren't they, that side. You might lose me head the further you go away. Let's have a look. I don't know how that works. You think there'd be more of me in there, wouldn't you? Try and prop you up a bit. But we don't want to get rid of too much of that bite, do we? And you're zoomed all the way out, aren't you? Just need some wide angle lens or something. But yes, I mean, I'm going to be bent down, aren't I? Right, last video when I was taking these off, guy goes, oh, spoiler alert, Ben's lost the 10mm. I'm going to go and try and find some 10mm. I've got loads of them. When everyone says, oh, I've lost the 10mm, eBay, get on eBay, they're about £1 each or something, 10mm spanners. I just bought like 6 of them last time I were on there and just threw them all in draw. 8mm or another one. I lose 8mm and 6mm, mate. If you don't hardly use them, and then when you do use them, yeah, you've only got one of them. I have 10mm and 11. The 11s work alright. If you have them 1/4 inch bolts, a 10mm won't fit it. They looks like a 10mm head, but it's not. It's like an 11mm head, innit? I think you get like a 9/16. I'm just chatting. Right. Scissors to cut through this masking tape. I think I'm just going to do one at a time. I'm going to try and suss out what they are by just looking at them. Sort out the left, the right, maybe put the right hand side, the side away from us, down here on the floor, get them out of the way. Get the left hand sides, I need to suss out which one I'm going to put on first, the bottom, the top, or the middle. Possibly the bottom, I can't remember which way. So we just need to have a bit of a look at them. I'll go and get some 10mm. I'll just keep talking. Yeah, I've got a socket set. We're going to need the sockets, we're going to need some 10mm spanners. Oh, an Allen key. Every time I get some Allen keys, I get the wrong ones out. So it might be a bit like a morphine. I've got a 10mm there. No, that's 11. 11. Oh my god. I might not be able to find the 10mm. 3/8. We'll have that bar. Oh, I've got a 10mm on it. I think I've got a 10mm socket. It might already all be out of it, actually. It looks like everything's here. And that's an 11. Right, so they're probably over here on this bench. That's my 10mm socket. Right, so we've got 10mm socket. Still don't know where my 10mm spanner are. I think they're not even there, are they? That might be Allen key for big uns. And we'll need Allen key for small uns. And I need to undo these as well. These are that Allen key's proper bendy. Yeah, these footrest plates, they didn't put it back. I need to put the bracket behind backs of them, and they're just twisted toward the back, so it pulls it proper tight. To get them 2 brackets in there without knocking the ceramic off it, I have to slacken all bolts off that hold that big footrest plate on. Just enough, just so I can pull it out a bit at the back here, just to get the pain, the bracket slot behind it. When I did the first one, we didn't have these big rear set plates on. It basically still had the standard pegs on it. You were just going to ride it around standard style. It was comfy in it. He had flat handlebars on it, I think. Not as far drop down as them clip-ons, and it didn't have rear sets on it. Mainly because I think you were toying with the idea of keeping the double seat. We didn't know, but so I just built it around everything so we could have a bit of both. This one's slightly different, so it's been a bit hard. It's been a bit harder. Yeah, it's just relearning it again. I'm going to take this Allen head over to my drawer. Try and find an Allen key that'll fit that. That's the best way to do it, and just take the thing with you instead of bringing Allen key backwards and forwards. I think I might just noticed my 10 mils as well then while I was passing by. No idea, but yeah, that's the Allen key for them. Don't need them till last minute. There's a 10 milli on the back bench. There must be another 10 milli on this back bench knocking around. So I found one 10 milli spanner. One 10 milli spanner. I've got the right hand key for that. The right hand key for that. I shouldn't need another 10 mil to be honest with you, because I'll do all the head bolts with me sockets there. I don't use that socket to be honest with you, because they stop winding, don't they, when there's no friction. So you've got this little T-bar, like a T-bar, you can just blast them in, can't you? Right, so T-bar's out. Let's slacken them engine plates off for a minute. Whatever these are, these footrest plates on. I bet that's a bloody 13 on back of there as well, isn't it? They're all like that, we need a 13, maybe a 12, might be a 12. Let's get one for them, 12 and 13. 12 and a 13. I always feel like when we're doing this bit, I feel a bit amateur, because you're like, well, it's the wrong side, but I feel like that's everyone in garage, and it's just the way it is. You eye it up. Like, I guarantee that's a 13, and you guarantee you go back flipping, it's not a 13, it's a 12 in it. And you're looking a bit overcast there, not undercast, a bit overexposed to do with weather. I don't know what that button did, it darkened it down a bit. Right, so let's try 12 first. I think it's a 13. It will work on both while we're there. Right, 13. If I don't put that spanner on that back of that, it's just going to bend the Allen key. And I'm going to try and stay face onto you so I don't get my arse out. Right, take that out. All loose. Just gives me a bit of rocking to get it in there, and then we'll line that all up. Basically, the bolt thread's all the way through that, so we'll line that up after, once we get them all on. Do the same on this side, just slacken them off. Like a step-by-step guide in it to fit a set of Benelli pipes, but hardly any of you will have a Benelli, so it's pointless. It's just me rabbiting. So yeah, the guy's not paid me for these yet. He's paid me off. He's paid me for doing all my work. I need to charge him for the ceramic coating, which I feel like he said they were like 500 quid plus VAT. Yeah, I paid it yesterday, but I didn't really check what he said. Mainly because I just needed to make sure I had £1,000 in my bank so I could pay it. And then I'm going to get it back off the customer. So he paid me instalments, he paid me half of the money for the pipes, which were £12.50. Then once I finished them, he paid me the other half of them. Basically, he lives in the Isle of Man. I was going to Isle of Man to watch the TT. And I said to him, can I have some bit of money up front so I got a bit of expense? So yeah, he paid me half of it up front, which is right when you're spending that much money in it, just a deposit on it. Then I had enough money I could carry on again. Mainly because no money coming in while you're doing a job like this, it takes you a month to do. Yeah, £2,500 for all 6 of them pipes. Then he's paid another £1,000 once I put petrol and delivery. It took me 4 hours worth of delivery. Plus, I've definitely put 50 quid in my tank to go there, back. First time I put 30 quid in, went there back. Second time I put 30 quid in, went there back. Obviously I've had a bit left over every time I come back, but yeah, plus 4 hours. So it's going to be, it's nearly £1,000 worth of pain. And that's why I'm taking my time. If I stop talking, it's because I've been concentrating. So that one's slackened up on that side. Right, let's have a look at these now. Let's try and suss out which way they go. So that's kicking that, it's kicking that way, so that's going to be a right-hander. I'm just going to put that over there out of the way, we'll come back to it. There, down on that bend of it where it's on wooden floor. That one I can feel bracket on back of it, so that one's going to be a left-hander. I think that next one's a left-hander. This one looks like it could be a right-hander. I can tell, yeah, brackets on this side, means it goes on that side, so that's another right-hander. Like I say, I don't know which one's number one, which one's number two. I've labelled them up left to right, so I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then obviously in my mind I've also got top, middle, bottom, so I need to suss out which ones I think well, the top goes on. Well, you basically, you work from middles out, don't you? So I put middle one on because that's the hardest to get to. Then, so I put 3, 2, 1 on this side, and on that side I'm going to do 4, 5, 6. The baffles are all numbered. I've numbered baffles the same, but the pipes aren't numbered up. But it makes it's common sense to everyone that you just do 1, 2, 3, 4 while you're sat on the bike. When I first started here, my uncle had wrote some things down in the book, and I think he got confused when he were writing them down between left and right. And then when I was trying to copy him, it was well hard, because half of his instructions were looking at the bike left to right, and then the other half of his instructions were sat on the bike left to right. So some of the lefts were rights and some of the rights were lefts, and you didn't know which, if it were the first half that were right. It took me a long time. I filled up the bin with scrap trying to bend the pipes. I bend a right hand pipe and it come out as a left hand one, and I was like, what's going on here? I don't understand. It took me for it. I think I just scrapped his notes and started again, used some of the angles for a bit of a rough guide, and obviously the distances between the angles, but then just had to suss them back out. Basically bend the bend, cut it, turn it to where I wanted it, weld it back on, made myself a new part, and that's the only way I could get around it. You must have just had one of them days. You only 1 or 2 sets of pipes, it's so confusing. But yeah, the general what everyone uses, rule of thumb, sit on the bike, that's your left, that's your right, in it, because you sat on the bike, near side, offside. I don't understand near sides, offsides, I do, but when I go into the car garage and it's like offside wheel, and I'm like, just say left or right, why do you have, basically, because I think near side and offside gets rid of that being sat in this, it's just sat in the car, looking forward, left, right, innit? It's not looking at the car, no one's looking at the car, but if you're an MOT guy, then obviously you're looking at the car from the front of the car. Then he's left and he's right, the opposite way around. Just right in again there. Let's find this one missing right hand pipe, and then we'll strip some. I think that one looks like a right hander straight away. That's a right hander, so we've got only lefts left. We've got lefts left. Middle one will have downwards brackets and nothing else on it. So that'll be the top pipe, no. Could be that one. Lowest bracket, right. Here we are, good times. This one should be number 3, going in the middle. So it's got longest bracket on because it's the lowest down. I said I'd get scissors out to do this, let's get scissors. But I don't even know where I put them. Because I don't want to do that, I don't want to rip it and then it flipping falls out. But that's what we're talking. It's like you can see wells, you cannot see wells, but you can see it seam down there. I mean, it's like glass, but matte black glass. They come out really well. I've ground that up on top there, you can see it, and you can only just see grind marks in that. You have to do a bit more prepping. Definitely when you go to ceramic coating, you have to do more prepping. You get the chrome you'll polish them morning before they go in chrome tank, so that'll take off them little bits of grind marks at the top or wherever I've joined them in. So like here, another grind marks here, they would be, and I just take that to chrome as you buff all that up and down. Oh, that looks a weird gesture. But yeah, with ceramic coating, you just have to think about that a bit more before you send it. Now normally I'd put these on the floor and take another picture, but I'm not risking it. I'm not risking scuffing them. They're just on bike, get them nice. He said, the customer, Andy in Arlemont, said he can't wait for a set of photos. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to send him a set of photos on his bill. On his bill for this. And then obviously send a set of photographs to the ceramic coating place, because I say a lot of his stuff, he does a bit of work for big companies, and you can't share that stuff on. Big companies don't like you doing that, do they? But me, little man, I like sharing the wealth. So that's got a bottom, that's only got pointy up brackets, so that's the bottom. The middle will have a double bracket on there, and the top one will have a bracket coming down to join all three of them together, so that's definitely the bottom pipe. Yeah, and this, they do look split mint perfect, like just bang on. That's a little dint there for, I don't think that's a little dint there for centre stand, I think. Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Maybe I'll do this when we get, oh no, I don't want to scratch now. You can see it there, can't you? You can see it, resting that on my chin. No, you're just getting me face. Yeah, right. It's got my lip marks on there now. Oh, you know what? Press screen. There we go. Okay, good. That looks when it's ceramic coating. Right, let's get these on my side. Let's get them on my bike. It's just tracking whatever now. It's tracking something random. Breathe then, breathe. So I'll put this down here. I reckon it'll be fine on that wood board. Seem to remember I set these collars out right. Left top. He's labelled these up LT, LB, LN. So that'd be left top, left middle, left bottom. I tried to stick with them. Left middle. Left bottom. Oh, I'm thinking under his ears, dog cleaner for neighbour. Like one of these, and this is one careful bit in it. I don't want to scratch them just wanging this collar about a load. Obviously it'll be in head, but alright, there, I'll just listen to the side. They're probably listening to me, aren't they? Tricky bit, he had spring washers on this. I don't know where they've all gone. They'd be scattered all over that bike bench. I'm going to have to go look for them, I think, just so we don't have to take them back off. Then you might do the arse out here now. Might put my Raysons name over it. It's been a while, it's been a month, might have been a couple of weeks. In the head. Flipping summer. Techie this. It's techie. Don't want that to go over there. That's it, right. Coming back out. That was stressful, it was stressful. You could have ting. It's just hard with one because they're that long. You're holding one there, trying to put the nut on with this on. Maybe some wooden blocks. Just a big wooden block on the back there, just to stop it from just to hold it in place so it don't ding on the floor. I almost feel like I need a faggot just after that little bit. You've been on 20 minutes, you've been on, and I've not got one on yet. done these so many times as well. Tell you what, let's pull my keks up first then. Let's get them riding right, aye. Right. Yeah, just scratch them a little, that collar scratches them. We're on. It still is a bit soft. It's a bit soft. There's evidence of so like these white pipes at the back there. I think they've got to be ceramic coated. I think they might not be. They might just be sprayed white. But same thing. They're just covered in black marks everywhere. The white stuff. I think it's always black underneath. So the chrome, when you scratch the chrome, it goes black. Whereas this, it's a bit metally coloured when you. It's probably still on there. It's probably thick. I think it's just taking dull off the top. So like it's what it's doing when metal collar's going down, it's not scratching it per se, it's like it's finished in a dull matte, and when that collar's going down, it's polishing it in a way, so it's making it shiny, so then you see it like a shiny scratch instead of it being matte. So that's a bit of a problem. If you have a matte car and you put your finger on it, it leaves a bit of oil and it leaves a shiny mark on all the matte. Like, really hard to keep a matte. You have to keep it really clean, don't you? Maybe gloss would have been better. Like, you can literally see me finger, my handprint there, same where it's just picked up oil off my hand. Just going to look for some spring washers. If I can get this side on done, what I'm going to do is just stop camera, we'll have a look at the other side. Well, I'll just do it to the other side, have a fag, have a brew, and do it to the other side. Then come back, we'll have a look at it all, have a look, whiz round with camera. I wanted to get it, I had a bike out this morning, customer picking it up, Henley. I don't know if I've covered it. I've done a video of me sandbending it, which I'm just going to do is just one video, like 10 minutes long, speed it up kind of thing. It didn't take me 10 minutes, but yeah, speed it up to about 10 minutes just of me sandbending that. Might be, well, it says 8 minutes to monetize it, so it'll be a bit longer than 8 minutes, won't be no more than 10. Just of me bending that. The silencer is in one of the videos, but I didn't show it. And I mucked up this morning. I jumped from 100th video to 102nd video, so I'm an episode ahead. Don't even know how I did that. I don't know. There might be a one or I've gone from 100 to 102. There might be an 101 on my computer, and I've totally forgot about it. Yeah, couple of spring washers. You also have proper nice fancy castellated nuts on this, or them aero nuts with a little spring inside them. He's got them on top, and I've lost a couple of them somewhere. They'll be everywhere. They fall around about. Just needs to get something on it, and once they're on it, I can pull that pin out the back. You can just hold it, hang it on the head anyway. Did I tell you? I didn't tell you. When I dropped these pipes off, I just went, he gives me a little tour at factory every time I've been in, shows me all the bits that he's doing, obviously, because you like want to show off what you're doing, don't you? And there were some bits hanging up, and they look like that black pipe you put underground for like drainage or whatever. So it were like, I don't know, 600 mil or something like that. Big black pipe, like corrugated stuff. But it were chopped up into sections about that big. And I was like, what's that? Why are you spraying plastic pipe? And he said, they're brake drums off a Lancaster bomber. That's mad, isn't it? So, it's got to be good stuff if you stick it on a Lancaster bomber, hasn't it? Right, so that's on. It's not tight, but we'll just nip it, I think. Just get it so it doesn't create any drop when I dangle it down. I don't want it all the way because you need a bit of waggle to line up the brackets. But yeah, just make sure it's in and it's not going to come back out. But also make sure I don't shine up any more of this thing yet. If you can see me, that's you're a lucky man. Yeah, that bit there is tight to get in. There we go. Problem with a T-bar, it can just like trying to click it, can't it, when it's coming round. That was one. I'm going to stick a block underneath that. Now we know where it's going, that one. I need to go and find some wooden blocks. I think. Oh, it's stressful, this. Stressful. Wooden block's going to fall over all the time, though, isn't it? And then just having that one pipe on lots of minutes already. Remove that, remove this. Needs to slip another bracket down back of there, yeah. So yeah, just see that little bit of waggle. Get the next one out now without tinging it. Let's find me scissors this time. Let's find scissors. Oh. You know what? You wanna come and have a closer look? Let's have a closer look. I suppose you're not going to see much because I'm back to unwrapper. But you can't even see I can't even see what you're looking at there. Do you see what I see again? You probably do. Really do need like a wide angle lens on that. But yeah, that looks nice, doesn't it, down there? It's looking good already. One pipe on. Next one's going to have a long bracket again, so this one down here has got another long bracket. There, I can see that. So we're going to put it on there, put some tape off. I know I might try to be dead careful with these, and I'm going to be extremely careful with them, but I also know that the guy's really sound. So I told him that they were like 5 milli out, just out of line a little bit, and he was just like, yeah, they are, then they've been made. And I think, looking at his rough wide pipes, that once he's got these on the bike, he's going to just ride it. I think he's a rider kind of guy, not a polisher cleaner, so they'll be on, and then maybe last time they're on, possibly. So this is tricky again. This is tricky. Left top, left middle. Tricky bit now is to get that into head without tinging back again. Why am I even doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? It's like, I don't know. Why am I doing this? I've not offered to do it or anything like that. I'm just basically doing it because I've done it 20 times, but this is the scariest time I've ever done this. So I need to get that bracket behind that bracket, right, ting it. Right, camera timed out then, and I don't think, it's not the battery, it's not The memory card, I don't think, because it's just started recording again. You must have just got to like half an hour and thought, there's no one even attending this camera. Going to safety shutdown. Second pipe's on, and I'm looking for a spring washers again. So basically, it's on loose there at the head, but I know it's on right, it's in there, it's good. It's not going to come out, mainly because the two studs make it a bit difficult for that collar to come off straight. And I've also, just with an engine stud here, just because I've not got a bolt that'll fit through all the way through this, I'm just using two engine studs either side. That's stopping that, for this pipe to come off out of the head, it needs to go forward, and that's stopping it from going forward. And that's what they look like so far. This is what I mean by you see that mark there? That's just a bit of sweat or a bit of oil off my hands, a bit of grease. My hands are fair clean for me. So it's just sweaty, normal human grease. Need to get two spring washers again, so they're over here. This is where I built that bike, weren't I? We did it all on this bench, so I weren't putting these on and off every time, these spring washers. Just a faff, but because we're doing it for the final fit here, get them back on. Try and get all the right nuts. That could be one of them. Nah, that's not one of them. Yeah, just try and get all the right nuts back on it. That's definitely the one. You won't be able to see that, but yeah, they've got little ribs round tops. So that's one that needs to go back into the mixer. Swap that out for a standard one that I've got. So we put them two washers down there. See, that's a standard one. And basically, so these are like the spring lock nuts, these, with that little step on the top, and they've got ridges around them. And then that's a bog standard one, nothing to it, no nylock, no and because I take these pipes on and off like flipping 50 times, I don't want these ones, because these ones you have to put on with a spanner. That I can just waz it on with my fingers, tighten it up with my fingers, give it one little turn with a spanner, done. That you have to wind it all the way on with a spanner, don't you, like any nylock nuts. So as soon as people come in and they've got nylock nuts on, or these spring lock nuts, I just take them all off, put them on side, replace them all with standard ones. So I've got boxes full of standard ones, standard 6mm, standard 8mm, standard 10mm, just so I can spin them on, spin them off, so I don't have to mess about with spanners. Right, so I'm going to put springs on there. So this video is going to be a whopper. Let's go and get stand back. Yeah, I pretty much give up on you then when it stopped. I thought, oh, memory card, I'm going to have to take some photographs tomorrow. But if I can just get that one more pipe on there quickly, we'll be rocking, won't we? Let's have it. Let's get a proper angle. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? That's a good thumbnail shot, that. Right. I always think when I'm talking like this, it'd be a flipping... Imagine if that just dropped off. Well, I'm saying that'll never drop off there. Good, couldn't it? So my spring washer. No, spring washer there. They're also, my hands are too fat, you know. It's another thing I struggle with. My fingers won't go in these holes. Yeah, they'll screw on as far as the end. Just exactly the same as an nylock nut, but you can't, obviously, you don't want to be putting nylock nuts on your exhaust pipes because it's just going to wreck the nylock, innit? Some of the times, I might not have a nut that fits, and I just warm up with blowtorch and the flipping all nylon drops out of them, and then it just turns into a standard nut. And I would say to the customer, if you want that as a nylock, you're going to have to replace it, because I couldn't. It takes so long. It takes so long with nylocks on. So, right, they're alright. They don't, that's them fastened to the bike at the back, because I say I don't have the right bolt for them. Customer's going to have to supply the right bolt. I've used the same fitting as his old pipes were joined to, but the old pipes turned up zip tied on, so they didn't even have that bolt through there. So he's just going to have to find one. I've routed through all my drawers, couldn't find anything close enough. And normally when they are in, because like, I'm going to have to send them back with them studs in now, so the next bike comes, them studs might fit the next bike, and I won't even have them studs to work with, so. Yeah, anybody got any boxes of bolts that they want to get rid of? I'm your man. I just give them away, you just need a mass assortment of different size, different lengths. And sometimes I'm not even using, that's not got a thread on, so I'm not even going to, well, it's got a thread on, but I've not got two nuts and it won't go all the way through. So I'm just using it just to position it in place. I know it's tight on because as soon as I tighten up them footrest plates again, it'll just clamp the back of that like it has got a bolt in it. So I don't need to tighten it on. It'll be good enough for transport 100%. You'd be probably flipping riding with it like that. So they're on. See, that's just once waggling through. There we go. That's all the way through that hole now. That can be tightened up. I'll probably leave it till last. Oh no, I do this every time. Then that bracket at the back is on the outside. It's on the outside when it needs to be on the inside. Right, got a plan. Middle pipe, slacking it off, let it drop. No, let's just take that bracket out of there. I could do it. Even that, just push that in there and flipping don't want it to be. I probably welded them brackets on the wrong way around for assembly wise, but you can't tell until you take them off and assembling them for the last time. You're like, that could have been all the way around that. Yeah, that's sweet. You need to remember that for the other side. Yeah, that fits that all up there. Obviously the brackets need to step over the top of each other, don't they? Like, I don't know if you can see that like that. And I've got a nut welded to one side, and then I've done that with it, and it needs to be like that with it, so I can get the bloody flipping this thing through. So you just wiggle that up and down. Hopefully that'll fit in place. Just get a couple of turns in that so we know it's roughly lined up. Right, that's just it, is that I can't get it to. This is why I'm doing it. This is the reason why I'm doing it, because if you were doing it, you'd be there all day, wouldn't it? It's taking me half an hour already to do one side, and I've done it 20 times. You get customers say, Ben, these pipes maybe don't fit. I would say, like, trust me, I've been in situations. I've been in situations while making these where I thought exactly the same thing. I thought these pipes don't fit, and they do. They take a bit of fitting. Right, last one. I can stop you and go and breathe a bit. No, that one. Careful with that bottom one. Close to make it. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, these got two tabs sticking up now, and they've got holes in them. So the one that I put on is going to be bolts, and they're going to have to sit on the outside of them so I can put the nuts through. No, they're going to have nuts welded to them, and I'm going to have to sit on the side so you can put bolts through. So down on there again, same again. I'm probably going to get rid of this now. Yeah, get rid of that block, get rid of that. Just leave them like that. Left top. I would have done the same with that, I think. Left top, right top. Or, yeah, I call them 1, 2, 3, 5. I labelled these up 1, 2, 3, 4 when I was doing them, and it would get a bit confusing because on this side they go 1, 2, 3, but then on the other side they go 4, 5, 6. So yeah, the lower numbers at the bottom, higher numbers at the top on the opposite side, whereas on this side they have lower numbers at the top but higher number at the bottom. That's just the way that them ports work, isn't it? So I've got that in there, behind that, lined up with that. Nah, I've not got them spring washers either, so I'm going to just make sure that this don't fall off again with one nut. Then we're going to put a bolt in the back, just hold it in place, or walk away from it. Then we're going to come back, take that nut off, put the spring washers behind it. Oh, I can't remember if you can get the baffles in while they're on. That one possibly not so. Right, so before we do the other side, maybe while they're still loose as well here, I'll have a go putting the baffles in, I think. I assume these probably got a bit of spray in them, these threads. I'll check that with him. I think you were very conscious. All they do like automotive. Even in track coating, you're pretty much doing automotive stuff, aren't you? His planes, boats, bikes, cars, shown on his leaflets, engines, pistons, stuff like that, barrels, all sorts of stuff. A few little pinpricks over the top, but I don't think they go all the way through. They can't go all the way through, can they then? Because otherwise it would have leaked water, and they didn't leak water. Literally everything, just me spit that's coming out of my mouth. So yeah, they're on. Right, so I'm gonna just give you a quick view of them, and then I'm gonna stop you, and I'm just gonna do all the little bits now, like trying to get these baffles back in these holes. Yeah, because there's an hole there, but like this top one, that might be a bit scratchy, might be a bit scratchy to get in. Unless I can use one of these Allen keys with little balls on end, might not be able to get into that. So I might need to slacken them all off again, just to put the baffles in. I might as well put baffles in while I'm here, saves in doing it. But yeah, before we turn this into an hour-long video of me just putting parts on the bike, let's stop it, go and have a brew, chill out. Come back, I'll show you end. I'll just give you a quick look at that, mate, because you're all dying for a look, aren't you? Oh, your battery's running low as well, so it's the perfect time. So the front bit's a bit boring, isn't it? It's just a set of pipes, it's just a set of black pipes. It's when you come down this side, isn't it? That's when they're looking lush and proper. Just proper race pipes. Quite good, that colour's quite nice. It's still got that grey exhaust paint look to it. In real life they look dead flat matte black, but it's just the matte's picking up the light, innit? Making them look a little bit grey. But yeah, they look like proper 70s race pipes. I'm happy with them, he's happy with them. Well, like I say, it's going to go with a personal tank, so this is going to be a belting bike. Yeah, Matt Personal died at TT, didn't he? Good friend. Good, not like an amazing best mate or anything, but yeah, we used to chat every now and again. I think I've said that on this before. I've got a picture of him somewhere, and here we are, rest in peace. Closing shot before we come back. There's Mark, 2015 lightweight Manx champion. Can't remember what year. I should know what year he died. It'll say on the back of that. That's his little 2022. He says. First of the 622, so he died in 2022 TT 2 years ago. He's made a petrol tank for it, like an MV Agusta style petrol tank for it. I'm doing pipes, so it'll just be a nice bike when it's all finished. Got Mark's tank on it, my pipes on it. Happy days. Right, I'm going to shut you down, get battery on charge, sort out little bits out, put the other side on, come back, I'll show you when it's all done by the end of the day. In a bit, I'll press button. Adios.